Awesome. So here we are at City and Community Development and Recreation. You guys should have the agenda in front of you. We have present Ms. Anderson, Ms. Zorb, myself, and Ms. Underwood, I believe, are the committee members. Ms. Blythe is an honorary committee member tonight. Then, of course, we have the Madam Mayor and our Finance Director. Is everybody cool to start with this in the agenda? Cool. So starting on it right quick, I still have 2021 goals out here. I still think it's important for us to develop 2021 goals, kind of to guide us for what we would like to see in our community. I know one thing that we had talked about once before was welcome to North College Hill signs, and I think that those have all been put up. I've seen 2 new ones. So coming in from Simpson, from the bottom of Simpson, coming up to Simpson, I have seen a blue one, and it does appear to look new. So maybe all 4 of them are up. Does anybody?
I think I can speak to that.
Okay.
I do know that there are new signs. If they're blue, then they're new. We just put those up this year.
Okay, so coming into the city of North College Hill, I do believe all 4 main thoroughfares have welcome to North College Hill signs on them now. So that is just an example of a goal that we had last year. I know another goal that has been kind of like thrown out there, and I'm not sure if it's still something that we're working on, is to get all of the street signs back replaced. I know that we had bought some, or we're looking at purchasing some. But I think at one point in time, Ms. Sorb, and you might be able to help me on this, there were a few streets that the street signs were just gone.
Are you asking me for the list? Because I don't think I ever
I don't have the list either, but I don't think that they were ever.
I thought that Mr. Cole had a bunch of them in his, I'll call it the garage. I don't know what you call that room back, that building back there. I think he had a bunch of them in that garage already, and he was going to try to put them out and then figure out which ones still needed to be purchased. And I think he was going to do that, but I have no update and no idea where that stands.
Okay, so that is just an example of another goal. I know that one of our goals was a community event or community events, and I know that we have word of a vaccine now, so we'll just leave that one. Any other goals that anybody can think of for this committee? Administration, please speak up. We like making goals with y'all too, because then we're aligned. If you guys have anything.
Ms. Chair, I wanted to mention something. I mean, I'm new. I've been in this committee, but it's past summertime, but every time I drive by, I work at UC, so I drive by down Belmont across from Aiken, and instead of having a pool, the kids there have like a 20-foot diameter sprinkle park right across from the Aiken sign, and then near there is swing sets and picnic tables, but I'm not sure how much it costs, but that would be nice as a replacement for the pool that we lost, if you haven't discussed that yet. Sprinkle park.
A
I know another word for that is splash pad.
That's what I
Oh,
put
yeah.
in the.
Yeah, they have it at Winton Woods also.
I
Yeah,
am
we
trying
looked
to.
into. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I am trying to, as we go through this, I am trying to be a better chair and interim chair of both committees and take notes. So if you see me typing and looking, it's because I'm trying to take notes of what we're talking about. But yes, I think a splash pad would be great in North College Hill.
That was one of the things that, not we in this committee, but I had a conversation about, and one of the issues was location, where you could put it, where it would go. I mean, we rent from, or lease the property, the park down on Kleindale. So I don't know if that would be an option. And then when you think about the park that's down there on Veterans, I don't think that's a prime location because of parking. So it's just a matter of where would it go? Would it go? That's not a safe spot, that area over by, Penn Station. So we don't have too many other options or where it would go. It would just have to be some land that we would have to try to somewhere purchase. It would be great right over at the UDF land if you could somehow rearrange that whole section with parking and.
Yeah, I don't know. That would make me nervous just because it's so close to the street.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's why I said you would have to
Right.
reposition the entire site.
I was thinking the more public the view, the better. I mean, like the one that's on Banning, you can drive by and see the kids. And so the more public, the safer, I think that would. I actually thought, I'm not good with streets, but I think this property belongs to the school, but I was thinking on Bison, behind the school where the park is, but that might be school property. I might have the street wrong. There's an apartment on Bison behind the elementary school where kids play a lot. Is that school property there?
We own that park there, but I'm not sure how much of it we own. So the city does own the park. But the elementary school kids use it as like their playground. We have Doomley still, and we have space up there, especially if we got rid of that contraption of a building. But and then the CIC, I think, not that I want to take away more opportunities, but I think the CIC could possibly maybe be acquiring the corner lot on Betts right there across from the park. That might be a good area to like have a parking lot.
You said a parking
I
lot?
think it's 6607
What street did
or
you say?
Veterans Park.
Oh,
We have 6602, I'm pretty sure, and I think that one of those lots on that corner could become available soon. So it's right across from the park though. So you would have to cross Betts, because Betts runs like this, right? Or does Betts runs like
From Hamilton to North Bend?
That's
No, from Galbraith.
same as Simpson.
Yeah, Galbraith to North Bend.
Okay, so whatever street runs from Simpson to Hamilton right there, you would have to cross that street to get into the park if that was a parking lot. But I think that may come available.
Is that Sundale? The other end of Sundale?
Are you? I guess I'm not sure where you're talking.
Veterans Park, when you like,
That's
if you're
Sundale.
Sundale's on one side, and I think is it D Armand on the other? Both of them. I don't know what's on the other.
Are you talking about the side? Remember when we did the gosh, now I can't remember what it was, where Mr. Moore was DJing, not that street, but the other street.
The side down where the up screen was.
check this out. If you're standing there looking at the park and you're looking
To
at
the
where the
left.
bagels put in the brick, right? Right across that street. So Sundale, I believe it's Sundale, but you would have to cross Sundale potentially. That
It's on
open,
the corner.
there's the only lot on the corner with no house.
So if
So-
I'm going up Sundale, it's on the left.
Yes,
That house got torn down. That's why there's no house there.
right, and the lot's becoming available soon, if it's not already available.
Okay.
So that might be a parking lot option to fix the parking over there. But that's just a maybe. And then we have Doomley that has plenty of space. Cool. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna hope that by our January meeting, we will have some concrete goals. Okay. That's our homework, is concrete goals for this committee to steer us through 2021. So moving forward a little bit, speaking of Veterans Park, the roof of the shed there has like a huge hole in it. And we probably need to fix that before it gets a lot worse. I have not seen the hole, but I hear that it is a pretty big hole.
How do we get that on the radar of Public Works to fix it?
Well, is Mr. Cole aware of it? Or is he the one who told you? Did you hear it from? Who did you hear it from?
I've seen the hole. It's not a hole. It's beyond repair, I think.
For real? Okay. So I heard it from just a passersby resident that was just like, hey, there's a hole in that. I'm like, no, I should probably go look at it, but
I can tell you
Find out if it's something that they use.
2 months ago.
I'm sorry, Ms. Orr.
Mr. Mosby was told about it about 2 months ago. I do not know if he passed that to Mr. Cole or not.
I'll ask them. I'll look into it. It's just a matter if they're using it or not. I'm not sure if they're using it, which doesn't matter. I mean, it's on property.
right, if they're not using it if they're not using it and we're not going to use it, I'd rather kind of like see the whole thing like gone, I guess. Let's have a big bonfire, citywide bonfire.
I thought they stored those benches and the Bengals benches or something in there, didn't they? Remember the whole Bengals upgrade?
We do have Bengals benches that I have heard about, but I've never seen one.
Yeah, because they keep them in storage and never pull them out.
We could use some benches at the park up here next to me because there aren't any. Just saying. So Public Works will look at it. Okay, so the big one that will probably take up a lot of our time. I just sent everybody in for Miss Marjorie and Miss Blythe. And Miss Blythe, one day, will you help me pronounce your first name? Just because I don't want to butcher it. And I'm pretty good at butchering first names. So I just sent out everybody.
It's Larry. It's like pronounced like Marie, but with an L. Larry.
Larry. Okay.
Mhm.
Larry.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I just sent everybody on this committee our current comprehensive plan. And I found the link on, of course, it's on our website. So the comprehensive plan is kind of like the steering document to pre-plan for X amount of years for our city. Some cities do 5 years, some cities do 10 years, some cities do 20 years. And it goes from everything from infrastructure to arts to culture and all of the above. It is in my opinion that we need to get this updated. I know that OKI will help with some of it, especially like with gathering data and transportation and infrastructure and traffic calming and energy solutions. But I think that, well, I know that I think it's more productive for all of us if like council, the administration, the citizens, everybody comes together and they give like a general idea of what they want to see for North College Hill. And our comprehensive plan is supposed to be that general idea, and it's really outdated and it really doesn't reflect who we are now. In my opinion, I think that our comprehensive plan, when it was written, was very focused in certain areas of North College Hill and not across the board. It doesn't reflect all of our fine citizens. And so,
Excuse me.
yes, ma'am.
I wanted to ask you a question. When you say, what do you want to see for North College Hill, in what areas are you talking about for the future? I must have missed what you said. Thank you.
All of them, in short. So your comprehensive plan covers everything from parks, recreation, traffic, infrastructure, economic development, housing needs. I forget what the actual words are, but it's the housing unstable, or I forget like the other word, but it touches on rental properties versus homeowner properties. It literally goes through every single aspect of your community from top to bottom and starts providing like it's literally the guidebook, or supposed to be a guidebook for the city. Development, land use codes, floodplains, it's everything, if that makes sense. Like, they are kind of expensive to have a firm come in and do, especially starting from scratch. But I don't think that, I know that we can have it taken care of. I just don't know how much of it. So what would have to happen is we would have to do a resolution asking for an RFP to go out for bids for our comprehensive plan update. I actually have a resolution, I think, from 2018 that we did this. And what happened was the Hamilton County actually came in and they were going to help, but then there was something happened with staffing with them and changeover in commissioners or something. So I still have the resolution, and I still have, I think, part of the RFP too, if not the whole entire, what we asked for. I will gladly send it to you guys, but it's really a question of, since Ms. Hull's on here, Ms. Hull, I don't want to like spend frivolous money by any means, but like, I feel like this is something that we kind of need to do eventually, whether it be this year, well, not this year, but next year or the year after. So it's first, do you think we can find money to afford it? And then it's also, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so much, but
So I mean, it depends on how much it would cost to hire a firm to, put that together. I don't know what council's budget would be on that, and it would totally depend on how much we would set that budget at. But I think it's not unreasonable for us to find a little budget to put that together. I think I did review a couple comprehensive plans, some of the old ones. I think it was back to 16 maybe. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but I did see a couple of those. And it's definitely worth for us to put that together if we want to kind of be more strategic with our capital projects, what we're going to do with our recreation, things like that. So I would just need to know what your budget would be on that.
well, so just entertain me with this one though. If we put out an RFP, if we put out an RFP, we don't put like a this is how much we're trying to spend, do we? Or do they just kind of give it to us and then we see if we can afford
Yes,
it? Okay.
the latter. So
Okay.
when you put the RFP out there, we're essentially bidding this project of putting our comprehensive plan together. And I don't know how much the other ones cost, but I'm just saying, just for even just like a placeholder in our budget, whether it's more than that or less than that, maybe we put something in our budget as a placeholder. But yes, those people would essentially bid on this project and let us know how much they would charge us to put one together.
Just to let everybody know, I have no idea how much these normally cost. So it may be that we go through it, we create an RFP, we get the numbers back, and we are all just completely in sticker shock. But I know that for something that is so oriented to keeping us all together, I think it would be important to at least inquire.
So it doesn't cost anything to put out an RFP, right? And we wouldn't, if everything came in higher than we could afford, we wouldn't have to accept any of the bids, right? I mean, we're not obligated, are we? So, I guess I'm not seeing any downfall to putting out the RFP. That's where I'm going with this.
No, we are not obligated to accept any of the offers. I mean, if we don't want to pay it, we just won't accept the offers.
Right. So let's put that together then. I mean, the only cost would be for the ad in the newspaper, right? Because you have to advertise it. So let's do it.
Okay, cool. Consideration, cool. So then what we'll do is our next city and community development meeting, I will send, and I don't think I did, let me see if I have this right quick. I'm going to send everybody what I have that's been like a rolling rough draft for a while. Okay. As far as what an RFP, what we would like to see in the RFP. I know that we don't send them out, but I think that this is something that I feel as though that this committee and the administration should work hand to hand in, because it is so important for the entire city. Oh yeah, this is definitely good. So I'm sending this out right now, but if there were any areas that we would like to see growth of course, other than Parks and Recreation and Economic Development, start thinking about those. Miss Lurie is an honorary committee member tonight, so I'm sending it to her as well. Okay, cool. So send. So I'm sending that over to you guys. So I would like to, I guess, a good timeline for us is to spend all of our next meeting cutting through this RFP of what we have currently and probably cleaning it up. As far as we want to focus on this, we want to focus on that, we don't want to focus on this, we don't want to focus on that, and then have it ready for council consideration in early February. So for our next meeting, that is what we will do. Okay, so, but if you want to take the time to read the comprehensive plan, I totally 100% recommend it, especially being on council. I know it's old and outdated, but it is something that I probably have 2 or 3 copies of it laying around here somewhere. And there's some really, really cool ones back from the early 60s, late 50s, and early 70s in our caucus room that show like where that recording studio and walk-up little candy store were. They envisioned that to be like a really cool like town square, which was like, it gave you like that downtown vibe, kind of like behind Miss Hall, sort of like. So there's some even cooler ones in our caucus room that if you want to check them out, they're pretty fun. So
There's another one that's really nice for a recreation center, like development as well.
really,
Yes.
is it an old one or is it?
I can't date it, but I want to say,
That's the one that I read with the.
was it the end 1990 or was it early 2000? I
I
can't.
want to say it was maybe about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, do y'all have that? Can I read that? Like, cause I haven't seen that one. I've seen the business one. Well, I've got a business one, I think, the North College Hill Business Studies. And then, of course, the strategic plan, I was part of that. But as far as the comprehensive plan, the only thing that I've seen is the one that we have and the really, really old ones. So it would be cool to see what you guys have. That would be cool.
Miss Bailey, a question popped in my head, and because you guys were talking about land use, have you ever decided, are you holding on to it, what you will do with the left side of the administrative building, the part that it was leaking and you couldn't afford to fix the roof? Is that just sitting there until you find a reason to tear it down and use it? Or have you been discussing plans for that side of the building?
Miss Lurie, and the easiest way I can say it is at the end of last year, council asked that area be split up into 3 parcels and to deed over the other half of that building to the CIC, so the CIC could take a stab at finding either a nonprofit to work with or selling it, or trying to see if the CIC could do something outside of the city's scope, like the city's scope of that building. And I think that it has been split into 3 parcels.
Mhm.
And so we have been waiting on legislation to deed over one of those parcels to the CIC for the CIC to see. That's a lot of CICs and Cs to see what they can do with it, if anything. So right now, yes, ma'am, it's just sitting there waiting.
Okay, so you want to rent that out to 3 different businesses or just, I
No,
don't,
so the way it would be split, and so right now you have the big building that is both administrative and the other half, as we'll call it. So that would be split into 2 parcels. The administrative building would keep the half that we fixed the roof on in the parking lot. Now, depending on who came into the other half, if that other half was rented out or something, then we would share the parking lot if everything worked out. The third parcel is behind there is the park, because we have a green space back there too that might be cool for a splash pad. Actually, we have the green space behind the city center, and then we have the public works garage and the public works offices.
Mhm.
I'm going to call it an office. So that would be the 3 parcels, I'm pretty sure. Now, funny story though, one problem with, like, one thing that kind of like held this all up in the beginning is that there are literally 7 parking places that used to be their own parcel. Okay.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I can say that because I had to go back, I was going back through my notes, that the consolidation plat was submitted to the county engineer. I didn't get an additional update after that, but I know that it's been done. I'm not sure what paperwork. I do know after my conversation with you, Ms. Bailey, I did tell Mr. Mosby that as soon as it was done, he needed to send it to either you or to Mr. Cook. Now, did you check with Mr. Cook to see if he had received it?
No, because council has to approve it. So it
Well,
would
I had to go to CIC first to let them know it was done. Well, was that our conversation the first time? Because I believe when we first had a conversation about it, you mentioned that you or Mr. Cook hadn't received anything.
So Mr. Cook nor myself had received anything. However, the CIC, there are new members. So I will say that there are new members. The CIC, though, did agree to take it a year ago or a year and a half ago. So that is my fault for assuming and have an assumption that the CIC would still take on the project itself. But to be honest, so the CIC is the Community Improvement Corporation, and we work on behalf of the city as a real estate holdings company, kind of, but not really. And we have a little bit of more freedoms when it comes to what we can do with city-owned property versus what the city does. So if it goes to the CIC, the options open up even further and more than what they do as far as the city has. So I will email Mr. Cook and see if we can get that on the next CIC agenda. And I will put Miss Madam Mayor in there.
Yeah,
So
can you add Mr. Mosby as well? Because
I will.
For our, yeah, my last conversation, which was in August, was when we had our last conversation about it. So I hadn't heard anything else until now, so I just assumed that it had already been taken care of because I hadn't heard anything else.
What was the abbreviation for CIC again, please?
Community Improvement Corporation.
I had another question. I've been online to Google and put in Google Maps, but does anybody already have a 8x10 color printout of our community? I don't think Google is going to give me a good printout. Just a, it outlines the community, but does anybody just have a color printout of the map of the community?
I don't have a color printout, but that one PDF that Amber sent us has a bunch of maps of like what you're talking about on it. Like it has some outlined with like the different businesses in it and the like what each residence has and all that kind of stuff. So if you open that PDF, you'll probably find something similar to what you're looking for.
Miss Lurie, are you looking to have one or to borrow one?
To have one emailed, mainly for just street names, the whole map with street names, just a printable map, 8x10, with all the, it doesn't have to have the businesses, just the street names of the whole community.
I don't know if you can get onto like Google Maps while you're in meetings, but that's normally what I do. Is I just get onto Google Maps and just kind of like look around.
I've been on Google Maps. I want something that's already printed out. I just thought maybe somebody would have a printout with all the street names on it.
So I don't know if we can shrink one, but I have two of these, I think. One of these is like super detailed. Maybe, because I know the CIC wants to borrow one of them, but I have two maps of North College Hill that are like huge, that have all the streets on them. I just don't know if I might be able to lay this flat enough to take like a really, really, really clear and sharp picture and shrink it down for you. But like anytime you want one, I have a big one, but I'll try to see if I can't get this smaller. Or I think Brian Wimsley gave me this, so I will try to see if I can't get another one from him.
There's also a Google app where you can scan documents from your phone. That's pretty easy to use. I don't know if you have that. If not, I can come over sometime this week and scan it on my phone and print out a couple like smaller copies.
By big, I'm going with probably a 40 by 60.
Never mind.
It's a map. Like it's a big map. It's a big map. But
Now it dawns on me, maybe you can't get a map that's 8x10 that you can read. Maybe it's just too small to put on. But I've been to Google and you can see it, but it won't print out right. But no big deal, nothing urgent. I just was asking since we were all in the meeting. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I will try to get. I'll still hit up Mr. Wamsley to see if I can't get some from the county. He may say for a nominal fee of $5 or something like that. I don't know. And then I'll get back with everybody and see who wants a big map. Okay, so Let's see. Clicked on the wrong thing. We'll follow up. Cool. So, can somebody resend me the documents from Mr. Hedger with all of the Tree City USA stuff in it? Which is going to be sad because I sent him a lot of it, but I cannot find it, and I still need to work on getting us our Tree City USA designation. And we still need a tree board. And it always slips my mind until we have these meetings, and then poof, tomorrow it's gone again. So I can give an update on Taking Root though. So in the spring, Taking Root did receive enough donations and contributions to do 35 trees, I believe, in North College Hill. That will go to basically the first 35 residents who sign up. They did ask if they could use us in like their marketing material, and I figured no marketing material is bad marketing material, so I told them probably yes. Like,
I'm sorry, Ms. Bailey, are you looking for the proclamation or what are you looking for?
we have to start a tree board, right? That has to have X amount of people on it for. I know one of them's an arborist.
Yeah.
And then
I'm just trying to see what it is that you're looking for, because you asked someone to send, and I was going back through to see what I had.
Okay.
I have ordinance, and then I have a proclamation.
Does the ordinance mention anything about a board, or did we not establish that at all? That's what I'm trying to figure out, I guess. Like,
you probably could read faster than me. Damage, nuisance, parkway, public property, delegation of authority and responsibility.
okay.
It says the director of the Public Works Department and his or her designee here within, referred to as a director, shall have full authority. Do you want me to send it to you?
Please do, because I'm pretty sure that in order to like get the signs and the designation, we have to have a tree board.
Yes, it has one member appointed by the mayor, one member appointed by city council, one professional arborist, two resident.
Hold on. One member council.
For some reason, it might be the council.
You are the council person, because I think between the two of us, if we had initials for outside committees and clubs, then they'd have to give us our own page in Webster's. Sorry, Mary Jo. And then we have one professional.
And two resident elects.
Two resident electors. Okay. But it doesn't line out anything as far as their membership, like requirements or any of that.
They will serve without compensation. Board members shall be appointed for 3-year terms. If a vacancy shall occur during the term of any member, a successor shall be appointed by city council. Officers, the board shall annually select one of the members to serve as chair, may appoint a second member to serve as vice chair, and may appoint a third member to serve as secretary. Meetings shall meet a minimum of 4 times each year. All meetings open to the public. The board chair may schedule additional meetings as needed. You have duties here, which are about 8 different duties.
Okay. So let's do this. We have Mary Jo. Madam Mayor, did you have somebody in mind for this as far as an appointee? Do not say me. Not it.
I did, but I'm not sure. I need to talk to her, I think, to see if she would do it. The one person comes to mind.
Does she happen to be a professional arborist or tree cutter down
I
there?
don't know if she is an arborist or not.
Okay.
I don't. Well, you know, you guys talked about your plants earlier. I have a peace lily that I'm trying to keep alive. So
If you will send me pictures of it outside of a Zoom meeting, I can probably diagnose for you and help you out. Actually, I know I can. I do it all the time.
my
So
other plants, I just threw them in the garbage.
you don't ever yeet no plants. You cannot do that.
Hey, I tried to save them. I even prayed for them.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing though, is like, so like, side tip, a lot of people fear the fiddle leaf fig because you can literally look at them and they just drop leaves for no reason. My
Well,
fiddle leaf fig thrives on pure neglect.
okay.
Okay, so I can help you with plants and your
Okay.
peace lily.
Yeah, it's like I don't. And I keep talking to it, but anywho, I'm not sure if she is an arborist or not. I'll tell you who it is. It's Carla. She's the only person I know that deals with plants.
Carla
No,
is a woman of many talents, but I do not think that she's an arborist.
I don't. That's why I said I don't know. I don't think she is.
The
Okay.
chiropractor on Hamilton Avenue is an arborist.
And you tell me that every single time, and I always say,
Who
I will
is?
call them. The chiropractor?
Oh, really?
Is he anybody's chiropractor?
You're talking about the one that's down the street from Carolyn Johnston on the same side?
Yeah.
I know some people who work there. I know 3 people who work for him.
Will you call one of those people and ask them if he is potentially interested in being on this board?
I know he has a farm or some property somewhere.
He has a tree cutting company.
He does.
And
She's absolutely right, because one of his employees told me that we were talking and she said he has another business and that's what it is.
So you will.
I'll
Thank you.
ask her because I don't, I can go introduce myself. But.
Thank you, because I have been supposed to been asking for too much, Tracy, and I always forget. So please. Okay.
Does anyone else want these documents besides Amber? Or do you already have them? Just Amber?
I'll take them.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Marjorie Anderson will take them.
Okay.
But Mary Jo
Marjorie?
already has them.
Miss Underwood, you good? The mute. You're on mute.
You're muted.
I apologize. Yeah, so I logged in with my phone and I'm still trying to get my computer to cooperate. So that's why it looks like I'm looking off in the distance. But yeah, I'm following along.
No, do you want the documents though, like the tree board, or do you have them?
I probably have them if Christian sent them to me. They're in my email. I don't delete anything. So
Welcome to my life.
as long as you're sending them, yeah, just send it to me too. Why not?
Okay, and then, oh, we got 5 minutes. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, right quick. Leaving that there. Okay, so we will hit this parks and outdoor spaces levy and just not go into it a whole bunch, but I'm pretty sure that, and that's why it's kind of like halfway there. The recommendation was 2.5 meals, Ms. Hall, I think. Was it 2.5 meals?
I believe it's somewhere around there.
And I believe that if we did that, it would be $200,000 a year, 270 something.
Approximately 270,000.
Okay. So I know that we spoke about this our last meeting, and I know that we have lots of levies coming up. However, I feel like we constantly think about, we pay our bills with other people's wallets for the city, which is what we're supposed to do, be, financially conscious. However, I think that we take it to the voters, a decent levy with a decent plan, and we have them vote. Just because I don't think it costs us very much to put it on a ballot, especially in November. But let's just take it to the residents and let the residents say, okay, cool, I do want to invest this amount of money into the community, or no, I don't. I feel like that this choice is bigger than us, but on a daily basis, you can ask, what do you want to see in North College Hill? And 9 times out of 10, it's recreation. And if we could please put the basketball hoops back up, just the rims back on the goal boards, like.
So let me ask you real quickly. You said this is going to go on a November ballot.
Possibly, maybe.
Possibly, maybe. Are we thinking at the same time as the fire levy?
It appears as though, Ms. Hall, is we have levies every single year for the next 3 years. And I think that if we put it on in November and we just give good information, not opinions, nothing bad or good, we say, hey, this is what the plan is going to look like. This is what we're going to be able to do with this. And we just let the voters decide. I know we have a huge fire levy coming up, or potentially, and I know that that could crush this completely. I know that the year after next, we have a police levy renewal coming up and possibly an increase there as well. But I also feel like that if we give clear, concise information and we put it out there, we at least see what it's going to look like. Does that make sense?
I was just wondering if it was going to go on the same ballot as the fire levy. That's just so that I'm aware.
Yeah. So
The short answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It took her a long time to get there, and we've only got 2 minutes left in this meeting. The answer is yes. But
Yes.
my is, we don't have a plan.
Right. We're
So-
going to do that.
I can tell you personally, I would vote no for this if we don't have a stinking plan to put in front of the voters.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't expect them to vote yes if we don't have a plan. So I'm not even sure why
That is
we're
right.
this without a plan.
Because I think it's pushing out the feeler to see if it's something that's even conceivable, because in the past this would never be conceivable. The answer would have been no. So I think that if we develop a decent plan, then first of all, 2.5 meals would be 200, and Ms. Hall will get that exact number to us. And then we can go from there with the planning and the ballot language, because I know just as well as everybody else, the ballot language is everything.
So kind of we're going with with my line of question. I don't know if we need 2.5 mils if we don't even have a plan. Maybe we only need 1 mil, if depending on what our plan is. That's kind of my point. I mean, we're saying, give me this big bucket of cash, and after you give it to me, then we're going to figure out what to do with it. And
no. Nobody's restricted uses.
Yeah.
It is totally restricted uses. We have to spend this money in green
That's not even my point. That's
okay.
We have a lot of work on the ballot.
Madam Chair, I know that we usually have a mayor's newsletter like every twice a year or something. In the newsletter, we could include maybe a link to a survey that's in the newsletter. That way, if residents want to chime in as to what they need in their community, I'm just thinking about a way to inform the residents in a reasonable price, in a reasonable time. But hopefully the residents that are interested, they would fill out a survey.
Miss Lurie, I am going to just go ahead and tell you that we are on the same wavelength, because I talked to Mr. Mosby today and I asked Mr. Mosby, hey, in the mayor's newsletters, could we get a link out? And he said, we haven't really done the mayor's newsletters because it hasn't been budgeted for. And then he goes, but not to talk on behalf of Mr. Mosby, who is now with us, and the mayor, but I hear that Madam Mayor would like it to be more of a community newsletter rather than a mayor's newsletter, if I'm speaking on behalf of, I know that's a lot of connections here, but.
More in the title. I want it to be a little bit from everybody, like council has a section, the different departments have a section, a community section. Not necessarily, it's fine if the mayor has a blurb or has a statement, but it's not necessarily, I guess my thinking is a mayor's newsletter is mayor's newsletter, but I want it to be like a community newsletter to give event. I mean, the mayor's newsletter gives event, but just a little bit more deep with other.
So it appears as though, Miss Lurie, that is something that we are going to be talking about more in the future with everybody, is to see if we can't also do that as well with, but yes, because that's exactly what I asked.
And that would be a good way that would be a good way to introduce our upcoming levies also. Get that out in the newsletter so that people can start thinking about that. I'm trying to consolidate a message where we had 3 or 4 important messages in the newsletter, because I know it's expensive to send it out to 4,000 residents, but that's something to.
I'm not sure if you can hear me, Ms. Bailey. We can't hear you.
My bad. Yeah, I didn't realize I muted myself, which I should probably do more often, but so we're going to leave this right here for tonight, and then we will pick back up on this. We'll do our next meeting, unless everybody has free time and wants to get together before then, which I don't mind by any means. We will do half community plan, half working on comprehensive plan, half working on what levy proceeds and a plan would look like. Cool. Okay, so other than that, do we have a motion to adjourn or a general consensus to adjourn? Cool. Okay. And then we're adjourned. Do we have to reset the screen for finance?
I think you can just roll into it because it's the same stream.
Okay. Awesome. So I need just a second to get this one up. So Cool. So we have
Okay, while you're, before you start, can I just make a quick comment? You made a statement about Miss Hall's background. So I looked it up. It's a closed restaurant in Michigan. They closed July, I believe, of 2019.
all this free PR they're getting, and now they're closed.
Yep. It closed July of 2019.
Can you actually see the restaurant?
Yes, it's
Right in
Derby
background.
Station or something like.
It's
Oh,
Derby Station. So I Googled Derby Station and it came up shutting down after 10 years in business. And it's permanently closed, East Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I will have to change my background then.
That's
But,
okay. The food looked
I just thought I
wonderful.
liked the little landscape. I thought it would be nice for inspiration for NCH
Yeah,
as we go forward. So
I envision that on a particular hill,
I think we're thinking of the same hill.
probably. I wish I could go pick me Cozumel up and bring them over here. A nice, oh yeah. I
Yes,
rode
ma'am.
past the other day and I said, they're open? They just need to pick up, pop right over here, a nice Mexican restaurant.
So where I'm from in Tennessee, we have a Mexican restaurant called Mexico Lindo, and they have them. And I don't eat buffets, y'all. Like that is against my I don't do it. But they have the most cleanest buffet. That is just
Really?
yes, yeah. So
I've never gone to a Mexican buffet. Look at that scenery at that place.
that's traffic calming, and that right there is
Yeah.
traffic calming and beautification at its finest.
Is there a fountain back there?
Yes, or
Yeah, it looks
nice
like it.
planters. Mm-hmm.
Sucks that
Okay,
it's closed.
I like that.
Now you see why it was inspiration for me.
Hashtag squad goals.
It's really nice.
Okay, so we have budget and finance starting a little bit late at 7:38. And we have Miss Anderson, Miss Zorb, myself, and Miss Underwood. Our honorary finance committee member tonight is Miss Laurie. And then we have Miss Nichols, Miss Hull, and Mr. Mosby. Right quick. Mr. Mosby, I did ask about a couple more executive session links, and it was too late. So for our executive session links, I think, and somebody please.
I have not sent any yet, and
Okay.
I'll tell you that I would category of having issues tonight, so I think I can send it. I'm not even positive I can send it.
Okay.
Who do you want invited? Let's start there, and then I'm gonna.
Well, finance committee, honorary finance committee member,
All of the people on the screen, and then who else?
Chief Shran, and
Is
Mr.
he-
Dieters. I'm sorry.
Is he expecting it?
Yes, they're on standby. And then what we will do is of course we will excuse the administrative team and then talk amongst finance and honorary finance, and then come right back into our finance meeting.
So is there a way to let us know that you're back in your meeting? Because when you click
I'll text you or text one of you guys? I mean, is that okay? I'll text you because I have your number. I'll text you and let you know, or call you and let you know and say, hey, we're going back into finance now. Cool.
Okay. Because otherwise we don't have any way of knowing when you're out.
So I think I sent the link. If anybody can check their email and let me know if you got anything, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I got it.
Received.
I did receive it.
I do have it as well.
All right, do you want to adjourn to executive?
Huh? Well, we can
You want to
adjourn,
adjourn to executive session?
we can adjourn and go straight into executive session. That's cool. Mr. Mosby or Madam Mayor, will one of you guys ask Mr. Schran and Mr. Dieters if they are available to hop in right quick?
Mr. Mosby. Is he not about to?
Yeah, I'm here. I had spoken to them earlier, so they were both already expecting a link. Mr. Dieters said he may be in a meeting, but Mr. Schran is definitely on standby.
Okay, can we call them right quick, I reckon, and see if they can hop in right now, or do we want to put it off for a couple more minutes?
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Hold on a minute.
Thank you. And then outside of that, budget and finance, guys, we have our agenda in front of us, and so clearly it may fluctuate a little bit here and there, but can I get a thumbs up if we're cool on it for now? Cool. Okay, so while we're waiting right quick to see if they are available in this committee as well, I think it is important for us to establish at least 3 goals to kind of give us something to look forward to, or kind of, set the bar at. One of them that I personally think would be a great goal is to have at least 1 payroll in the bank tucked away next year and every year following, just at least. Who knows when there's going to be another worldwide pandemic? Who would have thought we would have had the first one? And so I think that having at least 1 payroll for everyone in the absolute essentials is something that we need to strive for and a carryover every single year. But that is just me. That is just a goal that I think that we need to have, just because it at least gives our employees a little bit of reassurance that they're going to get a check.
Madam Chair,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add that the GFOA recommends about a 16th of a budget, which for us would be about $500,000 to $600,000 as a minimum.
A 16th of a budget.
Yeah, approximately. So that's about 2 months. So for us, that would be approximately about $400,000 to $500,000.
Yeah, I think she means a 6 of a budget, which is about 16%, 15 to 16%. And Mr. Schran is ready, and Mr. Dieter said he needed a few minutes.
Okay.
Should we talk about the trash real quick?
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely give them a couple of minutes. Yeah, we can talk about trash.
So I'm just gonna ask a quick question. I noticed, and I found the old one, that lasted from 2016 to 2020. And in that RFP form, it mentions things like leaf collection and special container costs and stuff like that. And I was wondering if that stuff carries through onto this ordinance 11/2020, because it's not listed on here. Anybody have that answer? I'm assuming somebody from administration that put this together.
Well, ordinance 11/2020 simply has the rates that people would be charged for their monthly rate. We have a contract, obviously, with Rumpke, which does take into account, although they're separate costs, but there are separate accounts for like leaf collection, as you pointed out, and actually under this contract, actually everyone will get a recycling container, and that will be included in the monthly amount.
So I think what the difference is we have on, I guess, and I still cannot find that ordinance, but we have, I guess, an addendum that was added to the last time that we went through this that shows like single family, 2-family, 4-family, and all of that fun stuff. But it's just, I guess, the reassurance that that is also going to be part of the next contract, because I understand that what we're charging people and what Rumpke's charging us are like two different things, and portalettes and junk tire disposal and whatnot. But with both contracts ending on the 31st, I guess if they're two separate ones, we just don't see that out to see if it's the same amount.
I'm sorry, you don't see what out?
We don't see it itemized as far as like other services and cost in ordinance 11.
Right. If the ordinance that if it's the ordinance that we're referring to, that ordinance is simply the rates that would be charged to the customers.
Right. So typically we have, it's a 2-for-1.
Okay.
Yes. So typically it's a 2-for-1. It's what's being charged to the customer and the renewal of what Rumpke is charging us for extras and side services and whatnot, if you will, like leaf disposal and whatnot. So I guess okay.
Yeah. So for clarity though, in 2015, there was a contract that was established. That contract went for 3 years, and then it had 2 optional years. And so in those 2 optional years, of course, which were 2019, I believe, and 2020, the council could have opted to do something else, but they didn't. They opted to
did.
obviously go with the
we
same.
did. We did. We absolutely
did what?
did. We did go back through and redo our stuff with Rumpke. So I know the one that you're talking about in 15, but I may have sent them to everybody, but council did go back through and do this. Didn't we, Mary Jo? Like, we did do this.
I have no memory.
I came in 2019. So 19's would have already been in place, but there was no discussion for Rumpke for a renewal that I know of for the 2020, other than just saying that they were going to continue with the rates that were in there, that were in the original contract with the optional year. But we went through the proposal process. Obviously Rumpke was the only the only person to submit a contract. And so they did give us their rates, obviously in their contract book, and it is broken out. It's I believe it is $12, I think, for the garbage, basically the waste, and then $4.50 for the recycling for a month. That is per household. And so, yes, those rates that you were talking about that we have on there, those rates are obviously based on being able to cover our expenses, plus there is an amount that we are in arrears on with Rumpke. And so that allows us to, be able to operate without having a shortfall.
Okay, so I guess where I'm just like, okay, so we didn't do anything for 2020, so this went through 2019. And so are they going to give us the exact same other services and cost as we've been paying for through?
Well,
Excuse me, what document are you guys looking at?
I'm looking at an addendum that we did last year. What is
Did you send that out?
Did I sent this to Ari, Ron, Mary, Marjorie, Rebecca, Tracy. I sent this to everyone except for Miss Lurie, and that's because I sent all of these to Ari, Ron, Mary Jo, Marjorie, Tracy, Erica. Okay. And
It wouldn't be the agreement that was entered into in 2015, would it?
No, it's addendum to the contract through 2019. Miss Lurie, I am sending that to you right now because I sent it to finance, not honoring finance. So this one's it.
So Ron, I'm just gonna try to, I think what Amber and I are both trying to ask you is, what are the fees for leaf pickup? What are the fees for, I don't know, what does this say? Price will be a monthly fee for this. I don't know.
I
For
have to. I don't.
Temporary portable toilets for junk tire disposal. Have that.
Right. I'm not in the. I'm not in the
We don't
office, so I don't have the exact number immediately in front of me.
I have it.
Could those please get forwarded to us? Probably all of council needs that, not just this committee.
Yeah, we were all supposed to get recycling things anyways, and they didn't. Okay.
I don't think that was, well, not to belabor it, but I don't think that was on the, even when I talked to Dean Ferrier, I don't think that was part of the prior contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I got a new one the last time we had a contract.
Oh, yep. Yep.
All my neighbors.
Yep. It was supposed to be in there. So, yeah. Maybe we just, I don't know, but yes, it is in there. So.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions about the ordinance 11/2020? Sorry, Amber, I'm stealing your show. I want to move
No,
on.
absolutely not.
I couldn't find that document. Would somebody mind sending me that if they don't mind?
I have sent them all to everyone. So let me make sure that
I don't think ordinance 2020 is in the one that you sent us.
it's not, because I don't have it either. So I have everything outside of that ordinance. So that ordinance, basically the way that I'm understanding it, sets the family rates, which bring us close to current, but I have all of everything else is set for that one document.
Hold on. So everyone would have received this probably back on 10/19 because it was on the agenda and we voted to remove it from the agenda. So look in a Mary Dewald email around 10/19.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, the other thing, Amber, I'm trying to keep you on track so we can not be in this all night. The other thing that has been moved to finance, and I don't know where it stands, is ordinance 12/2020. And that was the ordinance to move the salary to the mayor's court clerk to the finance budget. And then I received another email that said, I don't know if this needs to be followed through, but I wanted to make sure because we are now in the finance meeting and now's the time.
I'm pretty sure that is dying in committee.
Do we have confirmation from administration?
Yes.
We do. That is dead.
All right, thank you.
And then the last one was our temporary budget, but given that we busted out our budget, I don't think that we have to worry about a temporary budget anymore. And so that one can also die a lonely death. And Miss Underwood, your backgrounds are getting fancier and fancier by the second down there. I like them.
I'm gonna keep us moving. Can we move into executive?
Sorry, Lori, I forwarded you that one email from Miss Dewald. And then Mary Jo, I'm cool with moving into executive session.
Me too. I'm still waiting on Mr. Dieters to see if he's available or no.
Let's just go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I do not have this.
All right. See y'all on the other side.
Okay,
On
cool.
the other side. As a veggie.
That was rough. I got a headache. Just, I got a headache.
You're muted, Tracy.
I said, I'm glad I don't have to, I'm working from home. And then the heat from this, and then they turn the heat up in the house. I'm like, oh, somebody rescue me, open the front door. I would never get up in the morning.
My dog started barking during half of that, and then everybody was yelling, and I was like, oh my God, there's so much noise.
My dog's been laying at my foot the
The
entire
dog
time.
probably wants you to go to bed.
I know, right?
And then he broke the cardinal rule.
Yeah,
She was
jumped
trying
on
to
the
join the
couch.
meeting. She was really mad, okay?
Yeah, he jumped on the couch, and I thought I was gonna pass out. Like, are you on my furniture?
yes, I'm on your furniture. Come to bed now.
It is bedtime, bedtime.
Remember when I first got my dog? This is a few years back. It was Saturday night, and I was on the computer just enjoying myself. All of a sudden, every 5 minutes, the dog was jumping on me, patting me. And I was like, daggone. I said, I'm too old to have. He was telling me to come to bed.
Well, he's still laying here. I mean, he's too big to jump on me. Just leave me alone. He's probably like, why are you out here? Because he's used to the peace and quiet. If he's laying out here and he's like, somebody's in my area. We still waiting on Amber?
So let's just, hey, Drew, are we live?
Yeah, you're live.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything else to talk about in this meeting? You are still muted, Miss.
Sorry, there's an agenda, but I just don't think that we are gonna get through the agenda at this point. I really just don't.
All right.
Or I'll tell you what, if you want to get through the agenda, you're gonna lose me. It's my bedtime. It's past my bedtime. It's 10 o'clock.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
I'm not fussing at you, Mary Jo, but I'm just, come on.
So without the chair coming back in as being the vice chair, can I call it?
Do we have a date for the ordinance regarding the salary? A future meeting date? That's what I'm curious about. Or we're not allowed to talk about it.
It will probably come up in the meeting on December 21st. How's that? I'll speculate that. Okay. Anything else?
I'll suggest that we put it on the agenda. I mean, that's all we gotta do, right?
Yeah, we don't even, yeah. If you want to be technical, but I don't know that it even has to happen, but yes. All right, I still don't see the chair coming back in. Does anybody care if we call this meeting?
No, I do not care.
All right, I'm calling it. My gavel, you hear me?
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, Drew.
Have a good night.